Simon & Schuster Audio presents The Jesus Dynasty by James Tabor. Read by the author.
Discovering the Jesus Dynasty. It is a rare book that is 40 years in the making. In some sense, this is the case with the Jesus Dynasty. Over 40 years ago, as a teenager, I made my first visit to the Holy Land with my parents and my sister. I knew nothing of archaeology, the Dead Sea Scrolls, and other ancient texts or historical research, but I had begun to read the Bible, particularly the New Testament, and had become fascinated with the figure of Jesus. I vividly remember walking around the old city of Jerusalem. The city was thick with tourists, all Christians, no Jews or Israelis. This was before the 1967 Six-Day War, when the old city of East Jerusalem was still ruled by Jordan. We saw all the sights typically shown to Christian pilgrims: the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, the Mount of Olives, the Garden of Gethsemane, the upper room of the Last Supper, and the Dome of the Rock where the ancient Jewish temple once stood. Over the 3 days we were there, I began to experience a growing sense of disappointment. I was having difficulty connecting, even in my imagination, 20th century Jerusalem with the city in the time of Jesus as described in the New Testament. Even if the names and places were the same, what I saw before me were Turkish, Crusader, and Byzantine remains, with little if anything from the 1st century A.D. visible. Even the modern street level, I learned, was 12 to 15 feet above that of Roman times. I'd purchased a tourist guidebook entitled Walking Where Jesus Walked, and somehow, in my naivete, I wanted to do just that. We stayed in a small hotel on top of the Mount of Olives, just to the east of the old city. About midnight, restless, I got out of bed, Bible in hand, and decided to walk to the Garden of Gethsemane at the foot of the mountain. The steep path down is now paved, but I could see bedrock cut or worn along the way on both sides, indicating this was the narrow road from ancient times. I imagined Jesus riding the donkey down that very path into the old city, hailed by the crowds as the Messiah a week before he was crucified.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?